Sales Navigator is 100% manual. There is no automation whatsoever. ZoomInfo is a static database. It cannot tell you which of those companies is actively hiring right now. Each morning before you open your laptop, your agent has already found companies in your target market showing active hiring signals right now. Create an agent and you will know within 24 hours whether it's worth pursuing. Flynt does not surface companies from a static database. Most recruiters I speak to are spending between 2 and 4 hours every single day on business development research, searching LinkedIn, building spreadsheet lists, cross-referencing job boards manually, etc. Trying to figure out which company might actually need a recruiter this week. And then after all of that manual work, they send a cold email that gets ignored. In 2026, this is not a workflow problem, it is a tools problem. In this video, I'm going to cut through the noise and give you a proper, honest breakdown of every significant BD tool available to recruiters right now. ZoomInfo, Apollo, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, Clay with AI and Claude or ChatGPT, Instantly, Smart Leads, Lemlist, etc. I'm going through each one properly, what it does well, what it does not do well, and where it falls short specifically for recruiting business development. By the end, you will know exactly which tool belongs in your stack, what to cut, and what the best recruiters in the world are moving towards in 2026. Let's get into it. Before the tools, I want to set the context because 2026 is genuinely different from 2 to 3 years ago. The best recruiters attracting clients consistently right now are not necessarily working harder than everyone else. They have made a specific shift. They stopped relying on their network, they stopped doing manual research, and they built a system. Research from LinkedIn's State of Sales report found that sales and business development professionals spend over 60% of their working time on non-revenue producing activities. Research, admin, data entry, and list building. Think about what that means in practice. If you work a 6-hour day, 3.5 of those hours are going on tasks that do not directly produce revenue. Tasks that in 2026, technology can do for you better, faster, and without stopping. The defining trend for recruiting business development in 2026 is the removal of the manual layer. Recruiters who win consistently are automating the research so they can spend their time on the 3 things that actually build a business: creating relationships, running conversations, and closing clients. The question is which tools actually deliver that? Let me walk you through every category. The first category is data and prospecting tools. These platforms help you find companies and decision makers to contact. There are 3 main players: LinkedIn Sales Navigator, ZoomInfo, and Apollo. LinkedIn Sales Navigator. LinkedIn Sales Navigator runs from about $99 to $169 per seat per month. It gives you access to LinkedIn's network of over 950 million professionals, real-time job change alerts, company growth signals, saved search lists, and direct in-mail. The data is as live as it gets because people update their own profiles. If a head of engineering moves to a new company, LinkedIn knows about it within days. For a recruiter working a disciplined manual target list, Sales Navigator is a solid foundation. And for most agencies, it is the starting point. Here is where it generally falls short. Sales Navigator is 100% manual. Every search you run, every list you save, every outreach you send, that is you doing it. There is no automation whatsoever. So if you have a busy week, the prospecting stops entirely because there is nobody doing it except you. More importantly, Sales Navigator has no signal for which companies in your list are actively hiring right now. It tells you who exists in your target sector. It does not tell you who needs a recruiter this week. And in business development, the difference between calling at the right moment and the wrong moment is often the difference between winning a client and hearing that they already found someone. ZoomInfo. ZoomInfo is the most recognized name in B2B data and the most expensive. 300 million professional profiles, 100 million company records, enterprise-grade contact accuracy, direct dials, verified email addresses, decision maker data, org chart mapping. For large enterprise B2B sales teams, it is genuinely best in class. The pricing reflects the enterprise positioning. ZoomInfo typically starts at around $14,000 per year, over $1,000 per month, and goes significantly higher. Most agencies needing the full feature set report paying $20,000 to $40,000 annually. Here is the honest problem for recruiters. ZoomInfo is a static database. It can tell you that a company exists, its size, and who works there. It cannot tell you which of those companies is actively hiring right now, why this week is the right week to call, or what to say in the first 10 seconds of that conversation. ZoomInfo was built for enterprise B2B sales teams, software companies, financial servicing firms, consulting organizations. The intelligence a recruiter needs from a business development tool is fundamentally different, and ZoomInfo was not designed for it. You are paying enterprise rates for a tool designed for a different problem. Apollo. Apollo is the most popular alternative and has earned its reputation. 275 million contacts, 73 million companies, built-in email sequences, a phone phone dialer, LinkedIn integrations, and data enrichment, all in one platform. Pricing starts around $49 per month for a basic plan, and for individual recruiters or small agencies, Apollo is genuinely worth taking seriously. The database is large, the tooling is broad, and the free plan makes it accessible as a starting point. The honest limitation, their email accuracy is typically around 89% verified, meaning roughly 1 in 5 contacts will have outdated or incorrect information. For high volume outreach, that may be acceptable, but for recruiter business development where you are trying to reach specific decision makers by name, that data quality gap matters. And like ZoomInfo, Apollo shares the same fundamental issue. It is a database of who exists. It cannot tell you who is actively hiring right now, or which of those 275 million contacts has a live need for an external recruiter this week. You still need to manually identify your warm targets, and that takes the same 2 to 4 hours of daily research that we are trying to eliminate. The second category is outreach and sending tools. These platforms are built for one specific job: sending emails at scale without getting blocked. They are not prospecting tools. They do not find you leads. They assume you already have a list somewhere and you just need to reach those people efficiently. Think of it this way: outreach tools are the gun. They are not the bullets. You still need a data source to tell you who to contact and why. Instantly is one of the most popular sending platform with over 500,000 users. It specializes in email deliverability, domain warning, multi-inbox management, spam avoidance, and high volume sequencing. Pricing starts at around $37 per month, and if you need to send 1,000 outreach emails a week without tanking your domain reputation, Instantly does that job well. The gap is total and complete. Instantly has no idea who you should be emailing. You supply the contact list, you supply the messaging, Instantly fires off the emails. For recruiting business development specifically, it has no answer to the question of who needs a recruiter right now. You need to solve that problem entirely separately before Instantly becomes useful to you. Real quick, if you ever thought about starting your own recruitment agency or you're a recruiter struggling to land clients, you'll want to check out our coaching and implementation program. Inside, I give you the exact scripts, the outreach templates, and acquisition systems I used to hit over $500,000 my first year, scale to over $100,000 months, and do over $5 million in placements on my own desk. Our students are already hitting $30,000, $50,000, even $80,000 per month or more, many of them doing it part-time. So if you want to learn the same playbook, the link's below. It's exactly what I use. Now back to the video. Smart Leads. Smart Leads is a direct competitor to Instantly in the email sending space. Multi-inbox campaigns, domain warm-up, deliverability management, and sequence automation. Pricing is comparable at around $39 to $94 per month. It is genuinely capable sending platform, popular among agencies running high-frequency, cold outbound campaigns. The honest assessment, for recruiting business development purposes, Smart Leads and Instantly are near identical in what they offer and what they cannot. Neither platform tells you who to email, neither has any intelligence about which company is hiring. As a standalone tool for a recruiter trying to win new clients, a sending platform without a data source is the equivalent of having a phone but no idea who to call. Lemlist. Lemlist stands apart from Instantly and Smart Leads in one important way. It is genuinely multi-channel. Email, outreach, LinkedIn, message, and phone calls, all managed in a single sequence. Pricing runs from about $59 to $99 per month. Lemlist also has a leads database feature, which gives it some prospecting capabilities that Instantly and Smart Leads entirely lack. For a recruiter who wants to build a multi-touch outreach cadence across email and LinkedIn, Lemlist is worth evaluating. The honest positioning, Lemlist is an outreach platform that added prospecting, not a prospecting platform built around intelligence. The database depth is limited compared to Apollo or ZoomInfo, and like everything else in the category, Lemlist has no native intelligence about which companies are actively hiring right now, or why they would just want to speak to a recruiter this week. The third category is the newest, the most talked about in recruiting business development circles right now, and the most misunderstood. Building your own automated research systems using AI, Claude, ChatGPT, connected through a workflow platform like Clay with Claude or ChatGPT. Clay is a data enrichment and workflow automation platform that connects to over 150 data providers simultaneously: LinkedIn, Apollo, ZoomInfo, Clearbit, and many more. The concept is compelling. You build a custom research pipeline that finds the company, pulls enrichment data from multiple sources, feeds it into Claude or ChatGPT to generate a context-aware personalized message, and pushes the output into your CRM or outreach tool. When it works well, it can be exceptional. A properly built Clay workflow with a strong AI prompt stack can produce research-backed, deeply personalized outreach at scale that would be impossible to do manually. Many sophisticated business development teams in B2B sales have built impressive systems on top of Clay. Here is the honest picture for recruiting agencies. Setting up a Clay workflow that actually performs reliably takes 15 to 40 hours of initial work, assuming you have the technical knowledge to build it. You need to understand the API connections, data mapping, prompt engineering, engineering, conditional logic, and how to handle data quality issues across multiple providers. Most recruiters who have tried it report spending weeks building something they are not confident enough to trust in production. And once it is running, Clay requires ongoing maintenance. When a data provider updates your API, your workflow breaks. When your API prompts start producing inconsistent outputs, you have to diagnose and rebuild. When your credits run out mid-campaign, everything stops. You are not just running a business development function, you are running a software project on top of it. Here is the real cost picture. A properly assembled Clay stack. Clay itself at roughly $150 to $800 per month, plus Apollo data credits, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and AI API costs, often totals $500 to $1,200 per month before you factor in the time investment. That is before a single email has been sent. For technically sophisticated teams with dedicated operations capacity, the Clay approach can be transformational. For the overwhelming majority of recruiting agencies, it creates more complexity than it removes. Let me step back and look at what we have just covered, because there is a clear and consistent pattern across all 8 tools. Data tools, ZoomInfo, Apollo, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, tells you who exists. They have no native answer to the question of who needs a recruiter right now. Outreach tools, Instantly, Smart Leads, Lemlist, help you send messages at scale. They have no answer to the question of who you should be messaging or what the intelligence is behind the outreach. Do-it-yourself AI workflows, Clay with Claude or ChatGPT, can build something close to a complete system, but requires significant technical knowledge, significant time investment, and ongoing maintenance that most recruiting agencies are not resourced to handle. And across all 8 tools, there is one thing that is consistently absent. Not one of these platforms was built for recruiting business development. Not one was designed by someone who has sat at a recruiter's desk and understood that the specific intelligence a recruiter needs, which company is actively hiring right now, who the decision maker is, why this week is the right week to call, and what to say in the first 10 seconds is fundamentally different from what a sales SaaS team or a marketing agency needs. Every tool in the market either sells you data, sends you emails, or asks you to build your own system. None of them answer the one question at the center of recruiting business development. Which company needs a recruiter right now, and why should I call them today? That is the gap, and it is the gap that Flynt AI was built to fill. Flynt was built by recruiters for recruiters, not by a data company that added a recruiting filter, not by a software team trying to enter the space, by people who actually have done this job and understood exactly where the time gets wasted and what intelligence actually moves a business development conversation forward. The concept is a passive engine. You spend 5 minutes defining your target markets, your industries, job titles, decision maker roles, company size, geography. Flynt's AI agents then run continuously in the background every single day without you. Each morning before you open your laptop, your agent has already run. It has found companies in your target market showing active hiring signals right now. It has identified the specific decision makers at those companies. It has scored each lead against your exact criteria, role match, seniority, location, company size, and funding status. It has researched recent company news, launches, partnerships, leadership changes, and funding contacts. It has also written AI-generated personalization hooks per lead, a company angle, a news angle, a lead angle, and a job-specific angle based on the exact role they are hiring for. Then it delivers the complete qualified list to your inbox. Company name, contact, direct email, and phone number. No list building, no searching, no cross-referencing, no logging back in. You wake up with a qualified, scored, personalized lead list ready to action. Let me be specific about what makes Flynt structurally different from everything else we have covered today. First, active hiring signal detection. Flynt does not surface companies from a static database. It finds companies showing live hiring intent in your target space right now. Current job postings and the roles you place. That is the primary signal. From there, it layers business context, recent news, funding history, leadership moves. The sequence is always hiring signals first, context second. Second, match scoring. Every lead arrives with a percentage match against your configured criteria. A 99% match means every criteria is met, and the breakdown tells you exactly why. Role alignment, seniority, location, company size, funding status. You are not guessing whether a lead is worth calling, you can see it immediately. Third, AI personalization that is not mail merge. Flynt writes distinct outreach hooks per lead, one based on the company's recent news and business context, one based on the decision maker's career background and professional profile, and one based on a specific job posting and what it signals about the company's priorities. These are not templates with a name inserted, they are substantive, contextual reasons to reach out today. Fourth, flat pricing with no credits. $139 per month for the starter plan, no per search fees, no per export charges, no credit systems that runs out mid-campaign. One flat rate per agent. Compare that to over $1,500 per month for an equivalent manually assembled stack. And finally, the agent model scales with your ambition efficient. One agent runs one market, 4 agent runs 4 markets simultaneously. Enterprise teams run unlimited agents. Want to test a new sector? Create an agent and you will know within 24 hours whether it's worth pursuing. Every agent is a dedicated research engine running overnight, every night without you. And on top of that, they've also released a campaigns outreach feature, a dashboard CRM. So not only do you get leads, you can send emails out, have Flint write the messages for you, track everything in a unified inbox, CRM, and dashboard. If you are an individual recruiter starting out and primarily need a data source, Apollo at $49 per month gives you the best price to database ratio available. Add Lemlist for multi-channel outreach if you want to go beyond email. You will still be spending time on manual research, but the cost is manageable while you're building volume. If you are a large enterprise recruitment firm with a dedicated business development team, Salesforce infrastructure, and a budget for enterprise tooling, ZoomInfo's database depth and CRM integrations are defensible at that scale. Pair it with Lemlist or Instantly for outreach execution. If you have technical capacity and want full customization, Clay with Claude or ChatGPT can build something exceptional. Budget for at least 20 to 40 hours of setup time, expect ongoing maintenance, and make sure you have someone who can own the technical side. And if you are a recruiting agency of any size, solo, boutique, mid-market enterprise, who wants to remove the manual research layer, automate the signal detection, and start every morning with a qualified, scored, personalized lead list ready to action, Flynt is the only tool in this comparison built specifically for that problem. And not just that, campaigns, outreach, CRM tracking, dashboard can all happen in one transparent price in one tool. At $139 per month flat, with no credits, no complexity. The 2026 trend is clear. Recruiters who win consistently are not working harder. They have removed the manual layer and replaced it with a system that runs without them. So they can spend every working hour on the 3 things that actually build a business: conversations, relationships, and closing clients. The tools that enable that shift are the ones worth investing in. I have linked a free trial for Flynt in the description below. 7 days, no credit card required, and your first agent is running within 5 minutes. I've also put the full comparison of all 8 tools in the description box below. If you found this useful, subscribe to the channel. We publish recruiting, business development content, tool comparisons, and lead generation tactics every week. Everything you need to build a more consistent client pipeline. I will see you on the next one.